Welcome everyone to our daily program on Jasper Fans Forum. Of course, it is yesterday at the World Cup where we come around to look at matches that took place at the ongoing 2022 FIFA World Cup. That's yesterday. My name is Olafemi Ashalo, Kai Dugundari and James Akuribi joins via video. And together, of course, we'll be looking at those games. And yesterday, another African representative talking about Tunisia. They fell short in their game against Australia 1-0. Everyone expected them to, of course, to continue the not so bad run that African representatives have had in the tournament so far, but they fell short to the Australians 1-0. Of course, in their first game, they got a draw against Denmark. Everyone thought that perhaps they could beat Australia because France coming up next. It seems like the North Africans are out already. But you wouldn't hear from me, you hear from the guys, Kadogundare and James. Guys, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Femi. Good morning. And it's nice to be here as usual.
Yeah, Femi, it was a pleasure being on the show.
Kadogundare, I'll start with you because I saw yesterday you made a lot of posts on social media because I was following you. And Tunisia, I expected that at least maybe a draw, at least that is the worst result I was expecting from them. But we saw that the Polish got the better of them.
Yeah, Femi, thank you very much. Talking about social media, so I just reminded me, somebody asked me what was my handle on social media. I am active on Twitter, and I think the producer will scroll the handles on the screen for those who want to follow so that we can have a much more robust engagement of this space. And I am not too surprised about the Tunisians, although when we previewed this game yesterday, I said, given what they did in their first game against Denmark, the organization, the tactical discipline, everything, I expect them to raise their game a notch higher. But Femi, don't forget that even before this competition, James and I have talked about the North Africans, that they flatter to deceive. When you expect them to do great things, they tend to rub your face in the mud. I saw that game. Australia had no business. Tunisia had no business losing that game to Australia. They had everything it required to win that game handsomely. But you know what? Tunisia will always be Tunisia. So that's why I am not too surprised, although I was pained, but not too surprised that, hey, we know how these guys are, what they are. They couldn't raise their game beyond the mediocre. And that was what we saw. Australia scored early, so they had a long time to get their acts together. Even if they had made a mistake in allowing the goal, they could have rallied around, corrected their mistakes, and made sure that they got together and salvaged, even if it was a point. Now, although mathematically they are not out of the competition, but they have made their job very, very hard. They are going to play France in their last game, although France had already qualified, but I do not see the French stepping their foot off the gas pedal. They are going to they are going to go for a kill. Then they just handed the initiative to Denmark and then Australia, because now Australia they have 3 points, Denmark have 1, but despite the fact that they have only 1 point, they are in a position to get 4. So except they win their game against France, which is possible in football, but like very, very improbable, then I think the Tunisians should start packing their bags, because I see the end of the road for them. That's me.
Okay, James, left to me. I think the Tunisians are out of the tournament already because, like James said, I would not expect Didier Deschamps and his boys to step the foot off the gas pedal for now, because they want to continue to make the statement that we are here in Qatar to defend our title, which we won 4 years ago. So for me, I think it is the end of the road for Tunisians. What do you think? Very quickly.
I think the aeroplane that will take them back, the engine is already running now.
On the tarmac.
Yes, and they just got. We've been saying it before that especially Tunisia, when it comes to the major tournament, So I'm not surprised. Right from the first minute of the game, I just knew that this team, yeah, they're not going anywhere because all they do is just off and pop, they run and they do every, but at the end of the day, when they get to the box, I mean, the Australians were just picking them out every crosses, every opportunity to try and get into the box. They were just picking them off easily. They were just reading them, knowing their moves and everything. So who said if no matter how good you play, don't take your chances. I mean, you are going to get the game against France. Now, it's not about just winning, it's about scoring goals. And after 2 games, they've not been able to get on the score sheet, So, I mean, for me, they're already out. I'm not really looking forward to anything from them. Yesterday, I was on Twitter, so I read a chat. This what is it called? A former BBC one. So he had a discussion with Esperance of Tunisia official. I think he was in Qatar. So he was telling us culture of Tunisia when it comes to major tournaments at the World Cup that they can't keep back-to-back performance. So like very well in the particular game, don't expect anything in the next game. That it has been like that for years, and it's always a problem. So when he said that, I just said, okay, we've been right all along.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, yeah, I'm not banking on them. They're already out. So it's 1 and 4 to go for Africa as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so guys, time is not our friend. Let's quickly talk about Poland versus Saudi Arabia. That was another game I never anyone saw coming, but I saw Kyle there. I saw a post he made on Facebook, and he predicted exactly how that game panned out because he said he doesn't see Saudi Arabia getting one over Poland. I saw it. I initially thought, what is he saying? But again, as the game was progressing, and I saw that I want to believe that this is very clever. Yeah, there's one crystal ball somewhere at the corner of the room that usually controls, but you do not let us know. How did you do that, Kayode?
Femi, thank you for the compliment. But honestly, you see, the way I look at games probably is a little bit different from the way other people see things. I take away emotions from it. See, the Saudi Arabians were they were on cloud nine, having defeated Argentina. But I tell you, the Argentines, like every South American team, like most African teams, they are good with the ball going forward. They have silky skills. They are very, very talented, but they do not have discipline. Femi, they do not have tactical discipline. The Europeans are taking tactical discipline in football organization to another level. So when you play a South American team and you defeat them, and you are very happy. The next game, you are playing an European team, Femi, and you set out to play the same way you played against the South American team, against the Europeans, there is no way you are going to win that game. So when I saw the setup of the Saudi Arabians, I saw that they were going to play the same way they played Argentina. They were going to play Poland like that, even though everybody thought Poland were like small fries compared to Argentina. That was what informed that post. And you saw a lot of people came on it and they were like, what do you mean? Blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, when they saw the results, everybody was like, come, what? How did you get to know these things? So for me, I think it's so straightforward, Femi, that everything, organization, I keep saying this, tactical discipline, organization, game management, keeping the shape of your team no matter what. All these things are factors that Europeans they have perfected into an art that South Americans, they are just skillful, talented. That's the difference between, when people ask me what's the difference between a Ronaldo and a Messi, I say Messi is a gift of nature. Ronaldo was on in the classroom, in a lab, so to speak. So there are two different beings. Ronaldo can be controlled. He can be made to get better. Messi cannot be predicted. He does things that you and I cannot predict. But Ronaldo is like, his talent is predictable because it was on in an experimental lab. So for me, that explains their background to their outlook and everything. So that's the problem. That's why I felt the Saudi Arabians were never going to take anything from that. And for me, if that game had continued till tomorrow, it was going to be Poland scoring, not Saudi Arabia. You saw the number of chances that they even missed. Yeah. Many of their balls hit the upright and everything. So that's, I think, is the difference. In this competition, I've seen it. It's a theory, it's an hypothesis I've tried over times, at least in the last 3-4 World Cups. And I put it to test again, and I see that it's still the same, still very valid. Organization, tactical discipline will always take you further than ordinary dribbling skills, which not South Americans and some other African countries have. That's it.
Okay, guys, we have just 2 minutes, so we have to be very, very quick now. James, of course, France, they sealed their qualification to the next round with their 2-1 victory over Denmark, though it was kind of a close game, because it was like, the Danish were very, very ready for the world champions. But all the same, as expected, everyone knew that France were going to maybe take the lead in the group, and they've proven that very quickly.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised, but they were made to work very hard for the victory, and thanks to Kylian Mbappe, 2 well-taken goals. The Danes, they are not easy fry when it comes to World Cup. You all remember what they did to the Super Eagles in 1998, and they trashed us forward. So this is a typical European team. They just come well organized. They give you everything: tackles, discipline, goal threat from set piece. They are not your flamboyant, silky kind of team. It's a team that will stretch you, and the French team, they knew that they went through a lot against Denmark. So I think the French team, they proved that why they are the reigning champions, despite facing setbacks in some aspects of the game, but they were still able to nick out a win, which is very, very important. Now they can go into the final game against Tunisia, at least with tweaked lineup, so that some of the guys will have an opportunity to relax, So, like I said, good one for them, good one for Mbappe. That's the 3rd goal at the World Cup for this edition, and we hope to see him score more goals. And also kudos to what is his name, Antoine Griezmann. He's playing more of a withdrawn role in this World Cup to accommodate the likes of Dembele up front, and he's been doing very well. So go down to the French team.
So that game against Tunisia, even if France bring players from Lorient, or I don't even see Tunisia getting the result in that game. Finally, as we leave the show today, Kayode, also I saw your tweet again after the game against between Argentina and Mexico, which ended 2-0. I saw your concern kind of on Argentina's overdependence on Lionel Messi. He delivered the game when they wanted it.
Femi, I said that, and it's something I've always said, that this Argentine team are not as good as people think, because even the Argentines themselves, they've come to over-rely on Messi. Every one of them play in big clubs, and they do well in their clubs, Femi, actually. But when they come to the national team, everybody becomes a pussy. They depend on Messi to always drag them across the finishing line, to always dig them out of trouble. And then when the team does not do well, everybody turns around to blame the same Messi. That was what informed my opinion that this team, although they beat Mexico, if they had played a much more organized European team, they would have been in trouble, Femi. And that takes me back to what I said about organization and discipline. If they had played a much more tactically disciplined team, even though with less quality players, they would have been in trouble. So it is not about the big names in the team. It is not about Lionel Messi. It is about the big names in the team not coming to the party, Femi. They are not pulling their weight. Everybody is always depending on, like we say, all balls to Messi, expecting him to do magic. For how long do we continue to fight for that magic? That's why I said this team is going to be in trouble sooner than you expect. And when they meet an European team, it will just be a replay of what happened in 2018 when they played France in the quarterfinal. I think that was the quarterfinal. And you saw how Mbappe tore them to pieces. That's what is likely going to happen again now.
In the second round, actually.
Yeah, in the second round. If care is not taken, that's what's going to happen again. If they meet a very, very organized European team, that's what's going to happen. You saw, even in 2018, you saw how Nigeria dragged them. You saw
Of
Nigeria
course.
drag them.
Yeah,
That's
lack
what I'm
of
saying. When you
concentration
see a team that
kills us in
is
that game.
resolute, that's what happens. That's what happens when you see a team that is resolute, that stands toe to toe with them. They tend to struggle. Don't try to play the ball the way they are playing it. If you stand toe to toe with them, you are tactically disciplined. You put Argentina in trouble, and that's what happened. And that's what is likely going to happen going forward in this competition. That's why I will not rate them as one of the favorites to win, to go far in this competition.
Can't accept it, then it is done. Okay, guys, let's quickly preview Morocco's game today. Of course, they will be taking on Belgium. Remember their first game, they drew against Croatia, and Belgium got a win, or just 1-0, very slim win over Canada, guys. James, what do you expect? Very quickly, we have just 3 minutes to round everything up now. What are you expecting against Morocco today? Knowing fully well that they are not American counterpart. I'm talking about Tunisia. They are like 80% out of the competition already. So Morocco, they're also here to score. What do you think they'll do differently against, what they have to do differently against Belgium today to get at least a win?
They have to be compact, and the most important thing of all is to score goals. They just have to. There's no any other way than to start scoring goals. I mean, they're going to play against a good Belgian side, and I don't know who struggled to defeat Canada, so they will not want a repeat of that. So we think they will want to come in with another strategy, another game plan to at least see out the group stage, so that their next game they won't go into the game looking for a win. But Morocco, they have their work cut out. But honestly speaking, Femi, I'm not too keen about Morocco. I'm not too confident. I've been saying it as if one is sounding like a broken record. The North Africans, they don't inspire confidence at all. They just huff and puff, and at the end of the day,
but they are here to taste defeat. Except
I know, but sometimes when you watch their game and you just see them, they just run around. When you get to the final third, this is the most important thing. They don't score goals, no matter what. Just play. They try to be compact, try to be disciplined, but the most important thing is to score goals, which they hardly do. So we just hope that they will be able to get something from this group. Even though you're not going to win it, just try and make a draw. Then their next game against Canada, which I'm not saying Canada is a walk in the park, but at least you can stand a chance. But the most important thing, don't lose against Belgium. Because once they do, the pressure will be seriously on them.
Okay, Kayode, as we round up now, Morocco, of course, they have their work cut out, like James said, against Belgium today. What would be your expectation?
Well, the single most important expectation is what James said. If they are going to win this game, they have to score goals. That's just it. Because no matter the level of dominance, even if they dominate Belgium the way Canada dominated them in their first leg, you still have to score. The problem with Canada was that they did not score. They did not translate their dominance against Belgium into goals. And the Belgians, I think they got 1 or 2 chances. Batshuayi scored from one of such chances. That's the hallmark of it. That's what separates a good team from an average team. If you want to win a game, you have to score goals. Femi, it's not a league. It's a competition that you have to score goals. If you can decide to okay, let's play for a draw. If it's a league game, but this is a competition where you need to score goals, and if they are going to progress in this competition, they have to win. Having a draw, even though it will help their cause a bit, it is not as important as winning. And to win, they have to score goals and make sure that they score more than they concede. Because I'm not going to say they are not likely to concede, but they should try and score more than, if they concede 10, they should make sure they score 11. That is as simple as that.
Okay, if you ask me, I think Morocco, they even have better players than Tunisia to do the job. You have the likes of Bono, you have Nesri, you have the likes of Hakimi, you have the likes of Hakim Ziyech. So I think these guys should, at least in this game, they should step up and maybe perhaps get another victory for Africa. Thanks, guys. Thank you for coming on our daily program yesterday at the World Cup. Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Thanks, Femi.
All right. So, guys, our fans around the world, please watch out today for our exclusive preview of Ghana's game. Very, very crucial game against South Korea tomorrow. So we'll be coming around to do the preview today because there's been a lot of development in the camp of the Black Stars as they prepare for that game. It's going to be very, very interesting, I tell you. So keep it right here on Jasper Fans Forum. So until we see you later on our preview of Ghana versus South Korea. Bye for now.